Hello, my name is Devin Watts, and I will be going over the female hormones and the menstrual cycle and the hormones that is responsible and that has a responsibility during the menstrual cycle. There is quite a few of the hormones that plays a important role in the menstrual cycle, and one of them is a luteinizing hormone, LH. This triggers the ovulation because when there is a surge of LH in your body, the reproductive system knows that an egg needs to be released. So that is what happens. LH is responsible for the release of an egg in the female body. LH controls the production of estrogen and progesterone. It is secreted by the anterior pituitary gland, and you can find LH in both female and male, in both sexes. So the next hormone is called the follicle stimulating hormone, or FSH. Now, this hormone is also secreted by the anterior pituitary gland. It is the reason why the ovarian follicles are developed or being developed. The follicles, like an immature egg, and therefore it stimulates, the FSH stimulates estrogen to be secreted, and therefore what happens when there's estrogen, there will be more of the follicles, more of a developing of the follicles. FSH is a glycoprotein, and a surge of FSH, it occurs in the middle of the menstrual cycle, leading to ovulation. So that is FSH. Then you'll find estrogen, and the group of hormones for estrogen is only for females, and estrogen is supported for the fertilization, the implantation, and growth of an embryo. So you'll find estrogen during the menstrual cycle to prepare your body just in case an egg gets fertilized. So the primary female sex hormones are produced in the ovaries, and the estrogens maintain the female reproductive system and the secondary female sex characteristics. So it plays a big role of being a female. And then the estrogen, natural estrogen, is estradiol, estrone, and estriol. The progesterone, this is responsible for the reason why the endometrium thickens during your menstrual cycle. It is produced by the corpus luteum. This is a messenger, chemical messenger from the ovaries and the adrenal glands, and it is promoting conception. So it wants the body to get fertile and helps with being pregnant and supporting pregnancy. If implantation does not occur, progesterone levels drop. So there's no reason for the progesterone to keep being secreted because there's no fertile egg, and the endometrium breaks down, and then you start the menstruation. A pregnant C occurs, progesterone is produced in the placenta throughout the pregnancy. Alright, during the cycle of the ovarian activity is divided into three main phases: the follicular phase, the ovulatory phase, and the luteal phase. During the follicular phase, the follicles mature. The main hormone in this stage is estradiol. The pituitary gland in the brain releases two hormones, FSH and LH. Follicle and ovary begins to develop and release estrogen, and the increased estrogen level stimulates the lining of the uterus to thicken. The ovulatory phase begins with the LH and FSH increase, the estrogen levels to decrease, and the LH is what stimulates the ovulation and occurs 16 to 32 hours after secretion. The luteal phase is the stage occurs after ovulation. It lasts for about 14 days, and in this phase, the ruptured follicle closes and forms a structure called corpus luteum, which then produces progesterone. Alright, so now we will go on to the changes that occur to the follicles in the follicular phase is when each ovaries is enclosed in a tough protected capsule containing many follicles. A follicle consists of an egg cell which is protected. When ovulation occurs, the egg is expelled from the follicle, and the remaining follicular tissues within the ovaries is the corpus luteum. The corpus luteum secretes progesterone and estrogen. If the egg is not fertilized, the corpus luteum disintegrates and a new follicle matures for the next cycle. During ovulation, the level of estrogen is released, which causes a rise in LH. The LH release causes for a mature egg to erupt from the ovary. The hypothalamus secretes a hormone called gonadotropin releasing hormone, GnRH, and this causes the pituitary gland to produce FSH. The hormone responsible for starting the release of an egg is the level of estrogen. LH is also responsible for ovulation and the release of eggs from the ovaries as well. Uterine cycle. This is separate from a menstrual cycle. They're the same, but it's different phases. Uterine cycle is the way the smooth muscles, it's the way it thickens during your menstrual cycle. So you have the uterine cycle is a monthly series that changes to the female uterus and uterine tissue. So it's not the actual egg, it's the thickening of the muscle. It thickens a lot during the menstrual cycle, but then it thins out at the end part of the menstrual cycle. The ovarian cycle is something different from the uterine cycle. So this, there are 3 layers of the endometrium tissue. There is the perimetrium, myometrium, and endometrium. And so all 3 smooth muscles get affected in the menstrual cycle. Okay, so the thickening of the endometrium, it's the lining of the uterus or the endometrium. The endometrium thickens, like I just mentioned. So the progesterone that is released made by the corpus luteum, and this happens after the egg is released. If conception does not occur, the corpus luteum produces estrogen and progesterone will drop and the endometrium becomes thinner. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you learned a lot about the hormones and how they affect the menstrual cycle. Thank you.